5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
आज तुम्ही यशाच्या ह्या उच्च शिखरारी पावल्यात हान तू कांय संशय ना. ललितपाची, रूपा, सुवर्णा, शुभदा हांक हांव मेळ्ळ्या. तशीची सोनल आणि कस्तुरी विशयान तुई मस्त ऐकल्या. इतल उपलब्धी प्राप्त कोणूय तुम्ही विनम्र असती. पाय जमिनेचेरीची असती. हे विशेष. एक स्त्री आपणाल्या व्यवसाय, कला, छंद किंवा समाज सेवेक कुशलतेने सांभाळणं घराधिकाने बरोबर लक्ष दवरणं पूर्णपणे समर्थ जावच्या शकता. ह्या संदर्भात एक प्रसंग सांगका म्हणून दिसता. 3 वर्ष पुढे आमगे सारस्वत महिला समाजांतू नीलाताई बलसेकराले कुकिंग डेमॉन्स्ट्रेशन कार्यक्रम आयोजित केलेलो. नीलाताई म्हळ्यारी रूपा बलसेकराल माय. त्या कार्यक्रमा खातीर रूपा सिंगापूर थावन मुंबई आयली. नीलाताईक समाजांत घेवन आयली. हॉलांतू कार्यक्रम सूर असतना ती भायर पॅसेजांतू राबून ऑफिसाची अर्जंट कॉल्स अटेंड करता आशिल्ली. आज सुद्धा ती खंय विएतनाम आस आणि आत्ती आमगल सांगात हांगा प्रेझेंट आसा. अशी कार्यक्षमतेने सर्व काम करूकची स्त्री शक्ती म्हूण येद पैकी ना. आणि जर तिका परिवाराचे आधार, समर्थन आणि प्रोत्साहन मेळ्ळ्यारी त्या शक्तीक आणि बळ येता. ती बळकट जाता. विदुषी ललितपाची मुंबई असताना आम्ही तिगल संगीत कार्यक्रमांक वताली. जयवंत मामू केन्नाय तिज वटू येतालो. ती दूर बसतालो आणि तिका दिलखुलास दाद दितालो. ते आम्ही ती तिगल गायन आणि फुलताले. महफिल रंगताली. आमक ताजी भारी कौतुक दिसतालें. आज सुद्धा तो हांग बैसून तिका हेल्प करता आसा आमगल ह्या प्रोग्रामांत. तुम्ही सर्वांक इतर अनेक संस्थांनी मानपत्र दिल्याती, पुरस्कार प्रदान केल्याती, तुमगेल गौरव केल्या. हे ऐकून मस्त खुशी जाता. आजी आमगेल्यांची कॅनरा सारस्वत असोसिएशन तुमगल सन्मान करता आसा. म्हणून KSAचे अभिवादन. तुमगेले यशोगाथा ऐकून सर्वांक तुमगेले उत्तम कामगिरी बद्दल कळतले. सर्वांक तुमगेल अभिमान दिसतलो. युवा पिढीक प्रेरण मेळटली. ह्या सोहळ्यांतू म्हाका सहभागी जावची संधी दिल खातीर हांव KSAली आभारी आसा. आयचे यशस्वीनी गेले दिवसान दिवस अधिकाधिक प्रगती जावो म्हणून समस्त सारस्वत समाजा वतीने शुभेच्छा आणि उज्ज्वल भविष्या खातीर श्री गुरुचरणी प्रार्थना. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Kalindi Pachi, for addressing us and for your encouraging words. Ata, I feel honored to introduce our multi-talented and multifaceted icon, Vidushi Mrs. Lalit Jayvant Rao, who is the acknowledged doyen of the illustrious Agra Atravli Gharana of Hindustani classical music and a top-grade artist of All India Radio and Doordarshan. She has been a rank holder throughout her academic career in schools and colleges. She has done BSc in Mathematics, Physics and Chemistry, BE in Electrical Communication Engineering from Bangalore, and MSc in Biomedical Electronic Engineering from University of New Brunswick, Canada. She has not only excelled in academics, but was the captain of her school and college athletic team. She represented Mysore State in All India Women's Basketball Championships and also held a record for javelin throw for several years. Vidushi Lalit Rao started her musical training from age 9 under Pandit Ramrao Naik from 1951 to 1962. She won her first prize in classical music competition conducted by Sur Singar Samsad, Mumbai at the age of 14 and performed in Swami Haridas Sangeet Sammelan in Mumbai the same year alongside stalwarts like Kesarbai Kekar and Rajab Ali Khan. On her return from Canada and marriage to Mr. Jayvant Rao, she learned for a year under Pandit Dinkar Kaikini at New Delhi. She underwent rigorous talim under Padma Bhushan Ustad Khadim Hussain Khan, one of the greatest music teachers of the last century. She has performed a few thousand concerts all over India and abroad and is currently grooming several talented musicians in Bangalore and abroad in the authentic Agra Atrauli Gharana tradition. Thanks to her and her first guru, Pandit Ramrao Naik, that Bangalore is today recognized as an important hub of Agra Atrauli Gharana. Lalit Pachi has several commercial albums to her credit brought out by HMV, Magna Sound, Sony Music, Pragya, Rhythm House, Swarashri, etc. in India and two abroad by Navras Records of London and Opera Radio France of Paris. She is a worthy recipient of Lifetime Achievement Awards in Hindustani classical music. Tana Riri Award from Gujarat State Sangeet Natak Academy, Nishagandhi Award from Kerala Government, Bangalore Gayana Samaj Award, and several other awards and puraskars like the Guru Krupa Award from the Shankar Mahadevan Academy, Karnataka Kalashri Award from Karnataka Sangeet Nritya Academy, ITC Sangeet Research Academy Western Region Award, Putturaj Gavai Samman of Gadak, BKF Mallikarjun Mansoor Award, Bangalore, Rashtriya Sangeet Puraskar by Guru Rao Deshpande Sangeet Sabha, and Kala Shringa Award by Ram Kala Vedike, Bangalore. Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award in 2017 by President of India at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. And the same year, a documentary in Kannada on her was made in 2017 on her attaining the age of 75. And she was conferred with the Karnataka Rajyotsav Award by the Karnataka government. And lately, the Guruma Annapurna Devi Award by the Annapurna Devi Foundation for service as an outstanding guru of Hindustani classical music. Lalit Pachi has been awarded the title of Karnataka Rajya Sangeet Vidwan by the Department of Kannada and Culture, Government of Karnataka, which is the highest state honor for a musician at the at the Mysore Palace on the opening day of the prestigious Dasera festival of 2022. She has also been awarded the title She has also been awarded the title Ganakala Tapaswini by the Srimad Vadiraja Aradhana Trust for lifetime achievement in Hindustani classical music and the title of Swara Tapasvi by Swara Sankula, Mysore. A documentary was made on her in English by the noted filmmaker Maya Chandra, which was exhibited in the Bangalore International Film Festival in 2019. Another one was made by the Karnataka Sangeet Nritya Academy in 2019 in recognition of her yeoman's service to Hindustani classical music. She has made many contributions to several archival projects in music and has rendered several hundred traditional Agra Atrauli Gharana ragas and compositions for a unique archival project for the Ethnomusicology Department of the University of Washington in Seattle, USA. She has also rendered over a dozen traditional prakars for the NCPA with full commentaries and written notes on all the ragas. She was the first chief coordinator for a Ford Foundation Music Archival project for the ITC Sangeet Research Academy, Kolkata, under which she recorded over 1,100 traditional compositions rendered by masters of different gharanas. She has felicitated the recording and archiving of 100 traditional ragas of Agra Atrauli Gharana by her guru, Ustad Khadim Hussain Khan, for the Sarabhai collection. Lalit Pachi has to her credit several original music productions, Sangeetikas, namely Bhairav to Bhairavi, Agra Gharana Ek Vatavruksha, राग रंग समय यात्रा, पंचरंगी रागों का एक गुलदस्ता, गुरु वात्सल्यम शिष्य शरणागति, नमन सज्जन पिया, characteristics of Agra Gharana, and Namananjali. She has also given lectures and demonstrations on aesthetics of Hindustani classical music at universities and music institutions in various cities and towns all over India. Chayan, series of All India Radio with commentaries of gharanas and musicians of yesteryears, was another special project which she undertook. She has been featured in the French world celebrity magazine March du Monde of Paris. In addition to training students who will carry forth the legacy, Vidushi Lalit Rao has had a profound impact on the Hindustani music community in Karnataka and Bangalore in particular, as a torchbearer of the Agra Atrauli Gharana, a dedicated student, practitioner, and teacher of Hindustani classical music. Vidushi Lalit Rao has contributed immensely to the growth, preservation, and enrichment of a hallowed national heritage. I now request our chief guest, Mrs. Kalindi Kodial Pachi, to felicitate Vidushi Mrs. Lalit Rao. Kalindi Pachi. Kanara Saraswat Association honors Lalit Rao for phenomenal contribution of over 7 decades in Hindustani classical music and being the recipient of Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award 2017 and Guru Ma Annapurna Award 2024 on International Women's Day 16th March 2025. I now request Lalit Pachi to say a few words and address us.
Jai Shankar and Namaskar to everyone. I would like to sincerely thank the Kanara Saraswat Association for felicitating me on the occasion of Women's Day. I am grateful to Prashanti and Ashwini for constantly keeping in touch and clearing our doubts. I think they're role models. This event makes me very nostalgic because my association with KSA goes back to early 1956, when the Saraswati Mahila Samaj invited me to perform for them in Bombay as a 13-year-old. The very next year, my winning the first prize in the music competition for under 30s held by Sur Singar Samsad and my performance in the prestigious Swami Haridas Sangeet Sammelan in Bombay as a 14-year-old were reported in the Kanara Saraswat Association. It was in the first Saraswat Sangeet Mehfil held in April 71 that I performed next for KSA, by which time we had moved to Bombay. Since then, I have performed several times in the Mehfils arranged by the Kanara Saraswat Association. It was during these Mehfils that I had the pleasure and the privilege of meeting many prominent members of our community, like Nalkur Sripad Mam, a member Sundar Mam, Gokarn Gurunath Mam, Mavin Kurve Dinu Mam, and so many others, to name a few. We kept in regular touch with them since, and I have very pleasant memories of our various interactions with them. I greatly admire the initiative of Kanara Saraswat Association in arranging these mehfils, as they gave an opportunity to several upcoming Bhanap artists to perform alongside senior musicians to an appreciative audience. I especially remember how Dinu Mam and Gurunath Mam insisted on coming home personally to invite me to perform, even after telling them that a telephonic invitation was quite sufficient. I was particularly moved when one year they both waded through knee-deep water in Anand Ashram, where we were living then, to personally invite me. Even after we moved to Delhi in 1983, our friendship continued. I can never forget the smile and delight on Gurnath Mam's face when we called on him at Santa Cruz during our visits to Bombay. I'm very grateful to Smita Mavinkurve Pachi and other editors for regularly featuring me in the Kanara Saraswat magazine whenever I got an important award. All the awards that I have received are due to the blessings of our spiritual guru, Param Puji Sadyojat Shankarashram Swamiji, and my three wonderful musical gurus, Pandit Ramrao Nayak, Pandit Dinkar Kaikini, and Padma Bhushan Ustad Khadim Hussain Khan, for grooming me with complete dedication. In an oral tradition like Hindustani music, when one learns and performs, there is a boundary and certain guidelines for each raga. The artist has the freedom to imagine, explore, create, and emote as freely as one wants, but strictly within these boundaries. As long as I was learning and performing, I did not pay too much attention to the musicology, which explains and makes one understand why these boundaries are very important. When I lost my singing voice and could not perform, Param Pujya Swamiji, during his first visit to Delhi in 1999, advised me to think of other avenues which will still keep me active in the musical field. When we moved to Bangalore soon after, my husband, Jaivan, suggested that I could start teaching and passing over the precious treasure that my gurus had so generously handed over to me to the next generation of musicians. That is when I thought a lot and studied musicology seriously, which helped me greatly to clearly explain to my disciples the intricate nuances and how to maintain the hairline differences that exist between certain ragas. God has blessed me with wonderful, dedicated, and very talented disciples. Many of them have become excellent performers in their own right. For example, just this last weekend, my senior disciple, Bharti Pratap, performed at the prestigious Théâtre de Ville in Paris to a packed audience. My youngest disciple, Nishant Panikar, performed two excellent concerts in New York to highly appreciative audiences, and Manohar Patwardhan performed musical Bhakti Seva in Bangalore. I'm truly proud of all my disciples and delighted that they are doing very well. The one major task that the Kanara Saraswat Association entrusted to me, along with Jayavant and the late Gaurang Kodikal, was bringing out a comprehensive directory of Chitrapur Saraswat musicians and dancers. It took quite a while to hunt out the names and biodata of musicians and dancers of our community all over India and the world. I will not say that every artist's name was included in it, but those we may have unfortunately missed out were indeed minuscule. That is when we realized what an immensely talented and artistic community we are. We owe it all to our Guru Parampara and our Sri Chitrapur Math. The interest and encouragement given by our three Pujya Swamijis, Anandashram, Parignanashram, and Sadyojat Shankarashram, is primarily responsible for the blossoming of art, culture, and education in our community. Without the support and encouragement of the family, it is almost impossible to devote sufficient time to pursue one's career. I have been very fortunate to have received complete support from my family and especially from Jaivan. I congratulate all the other eminent women being felicitated on this occasion and conclude by once again conveying my sincere gratitude to Kanara Saraswat Association for felicitating me today. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, Lalit Pachi, for sharing such wonderful insights. It is so overwhelming to hear about your achievements and recognitions that you have received from so many prestigious institutions and governments. You are truly an all-rounder, a true torchbearer. I have also had the pleasure of listening to you at one of the programs in KSA. It was truly an overwhelming experience for me. And today, despite being unwell, you have joined us. We are very grateful to you. And we wish you a very speedy recovery from all of us. Thank you so much, Lalit Pachi. Now, I would like to introduce our next woman achiever, Mrs. Rupa Balsekar, who incidentally is also my society and college friend. Rupa, who holds a CA degree from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and has been a Mumbai University merit ranker, is currently the Managing Director and Head Transaction Banking, Southeast Asia, BNP Paribas. She is an experienced corporate leadership banker with over 25 years of experience in banking, covering cash management, traditional trade, and supply chain. She is the member of the BNPP Singapore Exco and Transaction Banking APAC Exco. In her role, she has been responsible for creating a winning transaction banking franchisee and spearheading the focus on technology for the delivery of industry-first solutions in cash management and trade for the benefit of her clients. She has been the vice chair of ICC India's Working Group on Banking and Finance 21-22. She has also been recognized as Transaction Banker of the Year in the year 2019 by AAA Asset. She is an experienced corporate banker with over 25 years of banking and cross-functional experience across relationship management, sales, product, and team leadership. Under her leadership in India and later in Southeast Asia, transaction banking has won several industry awards and recognitions over the years, including the Best Service Provider, Best in Treasury and Working Capital, as well as Best Supply Chain Bank. She has represented the bank as a speaker at many forums globally for a number of years. Her interviews are also routinely published in various trade magazines like TMI, The Asset, ETB FSI, and Banking Frontiers. Apart from her professional achievements, Rupa is also committed to creating a positive change through community work in the area of child education through Help a Child to Study Somaya Vidya Vihar Trust. This NGO supports higher education for the underprivileged and meritorious students from the low-income families in the Maharashtra-Karnataka belt. I now request our chief guest Kalindi Pachi to felicitate Rupa Balsekar. Kanara Saraswat Association honors Rupa Balsekar for rich contribution in corporate banking for over 2 decades. Congratulations, Rupa.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashwini, for the kind words. Thank you, Kalindi Pachi. Namaskar to everyone. I'd like to share a few thoughts first. Let me begin with a prayer. Om Shri Bhavani Shankaraya Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhaya Namaha. Thank you, Kalindi Pachi KSA Committee, for this honor. It is with great humility that I stand before you today, along with these incredible and inspiring women, as we come together to celebrate the strength, grace, and spirit of women across the world, and also the timeless qualities that have always defined us women: resilience, compassion, wisdom, and power. We are very lucky to be born in the Saraswat community, where girls are considered at par with boys, and no difference is made in their education and upbringing. I have two great examples of inspiring women in my life who have led the path for me. The first being my mother, Rekha Balwali, and the second being my mother-in-law, Neela Balsekar. Let me begin with my mother. My mother, Rekha Balwali, was a banker herself. Mummy taught me to have goals in life, work-life balance. Family is most important, and at times you might need to compromise on your career growth. But the universe and God is watching, and you will get back on track. My second inspiration, my dear mother-in-law, Neela Balsekar. She's a microbiologist and an award-winning author. Amma started her own YouTube channel, Amchi Cooking with Amma, at the age of 82 during COVID to share our Saraswat recipes the videos with younger generations. I would definitely request our audience to please log in onto YouTube and watch these videos, Amchi Cooking with Amma. They are a culinary treasure. What Amma taught me is that age is just a number. And as women, we need to uplift each other. I hope I have been equally able to empower my daughter, Aishwarya. It is said, it takes a family to nurture your growth. I am eternally grateful to my dear husband, Sham, who has always been supportive and helped my career growth. In a major way, Sham has always been the wind beneath my wings. And I know my son Advait sees this and will also be a supportive husband in future. Of course, he's just 20. So Advait, if you're listening, you still have some time to go. I would also like to share a few things which helped me in my life and career. These are my 5 golden mantras, which I have learned from my mother in law, and some are my own. The first, multitasking and time management. Women are naturally good at it. Let's use it efficiently for a good work life balance. You can do both, have a career, have a family life, and honestly, it's up to you to decide what is best for you. The second is set ambition and life goals for yourself and work towards it. The third is when you're taking on a new role and responsibility, give yourself at least 3 months. You don't have to be perfect. Don't be hard on yourself, but at the same time, don't give up. Give it your best. My fourth, always find ways to empower other women. It doesn't matter what you do. You can be a homemaker or a career woman. In both areas, you can really empower the women who come into your life. And my fifth, and this for me is the most important one and the most critical one. Always treat your elders, your parents in law with love and respect. Your children learn from your actions. And I hope Sham and I have been able to set a good example for our children. I'll end with this. Every woman is born learning to balance on the tightrope between family and career. They say that the hand that rocks the cradle can rule the world. But while one hand rocks the cradle, the other is building and creating and making things happen. So here's to being strong, independent, and unstoppable. Ladies, the world is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupa. Towards not only corporate banking sector, also towards child education for underprivileged and meritorious students from low-income families, which is truly overwhelming. So proud of you. And thank you for sharing the 5 mantras, which I'm sure it will be of use for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Sonal Hatangdi Haridas, who is a multi-award-winning nutritional medicine specialist and homeopathic physician whose comprehensive approaches have earned the respect of medical and allied health professionals worldwide. She has practiced at our KSA Health Center and has drawn her inspiration from her maternal grandfather, Shripad Bhavani Shankar Chikarmani, who lived in Talmakiwadi. He was a former president and had a long-standing association with KSA. With a seasoned career spanning over 26 years, Dr. Sonal is best known for a dynamic analysis of attention issues, sensory disorders, anxiety, eczema, gut, hormones, and lifestyle imbalances. In addition, for merging her deep clinical knowledge with a pragmatic application of nutritional knowledge, she won her first prize at the JASM 2024 of Hong Kong Pediatric Society. Applying this As the principal consultant and director of Maya Health Institute, Dr. Sonal is passionate about promoting healthful living and conceptualizing positive impacts within the industry and throughout the community. Dr. Sonal earned her master's in nutritional medicine from the University of Surrey, distinguished by merit and excellence in clinical research. She also holds a bachelor's degree in homeopathic medicine and surgery from Harvard Medical School, Department of Nutrition, and the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. Her extensive postgraduate training includes child development, family counseling, and Cantonese, all of which reflect her commitment to practical, culturally sensitive care. As a director of Maya Institute in Hong Kong, she empowers clients worldwide to improve their health through a blend of scientific and holistic approaches. Her practice focuses on providing evidence-based nutritional medicine and homeopathic treatments, catering to diverse clientele from Hong Kong, Macau, Philippines, Singapore, UK, Australia, and beyond. Dr. Sonal's unique approach offers complementary support for conventional treatments, addressing various health issues such as chronic allergies, skin conditions, development, and immunity challenges. Besides her practice, she contributes to several medical journals and serves as a reviewer for the Pediatric Journal of Allergy and Immunology. She is also affiliated to esteemed organizations such as the Royal Society of Medicine UK and the Hong Kong Pediatric Society. Dr. Sonal has been a recipient of many awards and has medical research publications to her credit. She practices with compassion and uses personalized techniques to help enhance overall health and well-being via in-person talks, webinar, radio, TV, etc. All with the shared goal of improving lives and advancing medical knowledge worldwide. Entire world is her stage, right, Sonal? I now request Kalindi Pachi to felicitate Dr. Sonal Hattangdi Haridas. Kanara Saraswat Association honors Dr. Sonal Hattangdi Haridas for her outstanding contribution in integrative healthcare and nutritional medicine. Congratulations, Sonal. Now I request you to say a few words and address us.
Hi, Prashanti. Thank you so much. Thank you to the KSA committee and all my the fellow winners today. I wanted to start with thanking the KSA organization. It's been a part of my life since when I was very young. Professionally, I was actually one of the practitioners at KSA Medical Center in the late 90s. And I would encourage all our Amchi young medical professionals to please do contribute your time to the medical center, because I think I learned a lot from being there, not just but in terms of practice, but what the community gave back to me in terms of compassion and encouragement I carry with me even today. And also, of course, the KSE magazine, which was the earlier part of where some of my articles were published. So I'm extremely grateful for that. Um, I couldn't be where I am today without just myself, but also because of all the hard work and enthusiasm of many generations. So I do want to thank my late grandfather, Shripad Chikarmane, and Sushila Kalyanpur Chikarmane, who made sure their daughter, Sudha Chikarmane Hattangdi, was educated and she went to university. She was the first woman who did her psychology back in the day and graduated with honors. My dear father, who passed away recently, who taught me to believe in myself and my dreams and to set my goals. He encouraged me to do whatever works well for my personality and not just follow my peers. And more so, he taught me meditation and he taught me NLP so I could ground myself every day in whatever came my way. My grandmother, my paternal grandmother, Manu, as she was called, a Manaka, she was an important part of this journey because she looked and encouraged me to study and be financially independent. She said, as a woman, it's very important that you have a means of being financially independent at any age. And that was her wish. Mom and dad realized that I was a high energy child and that I needed to exercise and move. And I think that's really important to remember that girls can also be very enthusiastic about climbing trees and falling down and scraping their knees. And I wish that all daughters around the world are given that chance also in sport and not just expected to study and do housework. So I do encourage, I was very lucky my parents encouraged that for me. I wouldn't be here today without my partner of 28 years, my husband, Rohit Haridas. He's been supportive throughout this journey. And as you know, it takes the family and the community for us to get to where we are. My dear son, Arhan, who is himself now in the second year of medicine, he was extremely encouraging at 8 years old. He was 8 when I went to do my MSc. And he truly enjoyed telling me to complete my homework and finish my assignments on time so that I'm not stressed. And he would also come and help me at the clinic when I didn't have assistants. I must also share that my in-laws, Dr. Shanta Haridas and Dr. Shashida Haridas, again, they are also very much part of my whatever progress I have made. They brought up their daughters and their daughter and son as equals. Mummy encouraged me. That's Dr. Shanta Haridas, who was very well known in her practice as well in Bangalore. She encouraged me very early to start my practice. When I met my husband, we were very young and we were not sure when we would get married. But mummy said, you know what, just go for it. Start your practice. आणि गुढीपाडवा दिवसू केन्नाय ताका कले मुहूर्त म्हूण नासता पाडव्या दिवस सूर करी म्हूण. So I started my practice on her, on her guidance 27 years ago now. She also gave me another message which was very important and I carry with me today. When I did start my practice and we make the homeopathic medicines, as you know, we dispense them rather. She told me what her Bhaskar Bappa, who is Dr. Manjunath Rao of Mandya district, had told her, which I do even today. She said, Bhaskar Bappan सांगिलें की केन्नाय वख दितन पेशंटाक आमकां लेकाक आमी सम करता ती जाल्यार आमी एक प्रार्थना करका मनान तूं की दावा आमकां लेकाक आमी कल शिकल्यान ती कल दिसता आमकां करेक्ट म्हणून ते आमी करता सती बट तूं प्लीज तुका फायनली तूं पळोवन घेवंका. So always I remember that prayer and I still use it today wherever I am in the world with my patients. I wouldn't be here in handling all of this without my mom and mami, which is Gaurish and Nirmala Chikarmani, late Gaurish and Nirmala Chikarmani of Talmaki Wadi. I think most of you knew her as Vaini. I stayed with them for a year when I first started my practice, and that was also when I was at KSA. And I learned from them resilience and how to handle challenges with a sense of humor. If you remember, my mama had a stroke very early in his life, so he had hemiplegia. म्हणून तो मस्त पण एक पण घर आणतू भोंवतना बशिलता so that पडतालो. Now I know how it could be feel when somebody falls around the house, an adult, but both of them took it with such, they handled it so well. Mommy mentally, oh, आज पड बाबा पडचे म्हण, and both of them would giggle, and then she would go and help him up. And I used to find that so touching rather than be stuck in the fact that he didn't have his balance. So these are the people in my life who've shaped, who I am today and where I will go in the future. In terms of the medical field, I idolize my Shekhar Bappa and my Abhipachi, that is Dr. Chandrasekhar Hattangdi and Abhilasha Hattangdi of Santa Cruz Colony. I learned from them very early the essential principles of private practice and how they've balanced home and practice. In the 80s, when I was still in primary school, I saw how my Abhipachi went to the US to do her diabetology with young children and how she and Shekhar Bappa balanced home and family so that she could study and they would come back. And I think you carry these lessons with you. In 2006, when I moved to Hong Kong to restart my practice from scratch, it's a very daunting thing to do when you already established yourself in 2 cities in Mumbai and Bangalore. It was quite an unexpected part of my life. But I remembered my dear aunt, Dr. Nandini Hattangdi Singh, who's in Canada. And she was a DGO from Nair Hospital, and she moved to Canada, and her degree was again back to scratch. She had to restart, relearn. and she did her first, I think, qualifying exam 7 months pregnant, and she gave her final exam in psychiatry, feeding her third baby. And I think when I think of her, I said, wow, if she can do so much, then at least I can restart my practice in another country. So I'm very, very grateful for Nandu Akka. In terms of research, I started quite early. I love reading science. I'm a geek. When I was in school, it is Bharati Kalle and Dr. Suvarna Kopikar who actually helped me with books, because in Bahrain, where I grew up, it was hard. There was no library. So to get books for science, nutrition, and medicine, we had to depend on the hospitals, and they helped me with the resources I needed for my research. I also wanted to thank Meenal Surkun. She's a speech and language pathologist who I made friends with when I was working in KSA. Amazing, brilliant, brilliant personality. And she brought me into the world of neurodivergence and teaching me about autism, attention deficit disorder, and differently abled individuals. I also wanted to thank Ajay Nadkarni, a young man who is multi-talented. And I think when he came into my life, and Sujata Nadkarni Pachi, their encouragement, I learned a lot, and it took me on a different stream of how homeopathy and nutritional medicine can be used. Uh, I would like to thank all my patients around the world. I have been very blessed with fabulous patients who've been very encouraging from all over the world, who are very understanding of the holistic form of medicine. And today I would like to give back something to the community. So you'll have to bear with me. I just came back from a conference, and my work is about vitamin D and iodine deficiency. But the reason I did my research was I noticed there was a situation in society, in our Samaj, where certain illnesses were increasing tremendously in young children. And since it's all today is about felicitating women, children obviously are very much part of our lives. And there are many teachers here and doctors. And I would like to just quickly show them what I would like to. One second. Let me get this. There we go. So now this is the information that I would like to show you. Can you see that? Yeah. So these are some facts in society that we need to be aware of. There are a lot of children nowadays who are being diagnosed with ADHD or attention issues, much so than 20, 30 years ago, and they're being put on medication. Now, I won't go through the whole thing because my full presentation is 40 minutes. I know we don't have time for that, but I just wanted to share a few facts with you. Did you know that 1 in 5 children suffer from allergies, yet fewer than 10% of educators link this to classroom struggles? Children, sometimes they're known for being naughty kids or can't sit in one place, but nobody pays attention to the fact that their bodies are suffering. 30% of children with allergies exhibit attention issues. That's twice the percentage of children who don't have allergies. Now, that's a pretty big percentage. We have to remember that to learn optimally, we have to help the mind and the body. So it's not about just behavioral therapy or medicating the mind. Now, this is what I've seen has happened in the world. We have become so hyper focused in medical care that it's like the 5 blind men in the room, where each specialist is looking at only one part. One person, the dermatologist, looks at eczema, the other person is looking at nose allergy, and then the psychologist or therapist says, oh, it's an attention problem. So we have to look at the elephant in the room. Now, what I noticed was in my practice over 17 years ago, I noticed a disturbing trend in what we call atopic children, that is, children who have eczema. And they tended to have a higher incidence of issues. Now, I was looking at babies as well, and I was treating eczema and also helping asthma. And what I noticed was these children had a much higher risk of having attention issues and what we call sensory processing issues, where they can't sit still, where they're uncomfortable, where they can't look in people's eyes. And with homeopathy and nutritional medicine, we were supporting the earlier part, the physical part of it. These conditions were actually improving. So I did win awards and I did get published, but unfortunately, I'm still unhappy with the fact that whatever was published hasn't yet been put into medical practice. And it's as simple as saying, anemia aslari, ami doctor la vachulari, doctor definitely iron test kartalo. But eczema इतली information आसा जाल्यार eczema घेवन कोणे डॉक्टराल्या वचून खंयचो डॉक्टर अजुनी vitamin D test करना. Why? There's enough information about it. Similarly, iodinaची situation आसा ती आमी आमची लोक आमी कोण इंडिया राबता ती तावळ आमी आमकां सगळ्या सॉल्ट आयोडायज्ड मेळटा. बट आमी भायर गांव राबतना पुराय थंय रुल्स विंगड आसा ती आयोडीन सॉल्ट मेल्ट म्हणना आनी मस्तन वेजिटेरियन्स आसा ती तर आयोडीन खंय खंयच्यान येता. And the difference between an iodine deficient child and an iodine replete child is that the iodine deficient child will have 7 to 9 points lower IQ than a child who's iodine sufficient. So this is very important. It's the most preventable form of mental retardation in the world. I managed to get all the data together, so please kindly read my research and help the children in your community identify what's going on, because there's a lot of information on how ADHD and inflammation are related. And आम्ही आंगांतून inflammation कमी केल्यार तांगल ADHD and attention deficit कमी जाता. So there's usually an inside story to every outside situation. Though we may not be able to know that inside story, there's generally some inner reason for what a child does. म्हणून मस्ती करता, एकट बैसना, हर्ट करता, अशें सगळं म्हणच पयलें आमी हांवें विचार करता की त्या चेडाक आंगां कसले त्रास जाता तसल्या चेडाक तेंवूय पळोवन घेवया. So I would highly encourage you, if you know children in the community with this situation, please ask them to do a holistic review of what's going on and not just jump to giving a medication to make them sit still. And I'm really grateful. Thank you that you allowed me this platform to talk about my research, and I hope it helps the community at large. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sonal, for your lovely message. Today, although the average lifespan has increased, the cost of medicals has also increased phenomenally. It is definitely required to have a good healthcare system and nutrition, and as you said, a holistic approach. And truly, the entire world is your stage. We are actually very lucky, Sonal, that we have such a beautiful family and community to support us. And wherever we go, they're always there for us. Oh, by the way, Sonal, we would love to welcome you back in KSA Health Center. Anyway, thank you so much. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our next woman achiever, Srimati Shubhada Burde, nee Amita Nagarkatti. Born on May 27, 1953, Amita Pachi is a dedicated, professionally qualified and trained teacher for children who are specially differently abled children. Teaching is not just a profession for her, it is her passion, her focus being on underprivileged children, including the hearing impaired. Post her BSc graduation from Wilson College, she has completed her B.Ed and D.Ed 3 months certificate course from Institute Doven of Netherlands, AHAT AVT Beginners and Advanced Courses by Kochlear. She has been in the specialized training field under the Social Welfare Department of the Maharashtra government. From 1979 till 2011, she has dedicated her service to the education of children in various capacities, such as senior language teacher at the Central School for the Deaf, lecturer for Diploma HI at CITD, principal and language teacher, auditory verbal therapist for babies and toddlers with cochlear implants from Maitri Center of the Central School for the Deaf. Currently, from 2007 till date, she is the director and language teacher of the Central Society for the Education of the Deaf. Additionally, from 2018 till date, she is a therapist at SRCC Center for Special Children in Haji Ali. She has given lectures on speech and language development of CWHI, listening principles, parent guidance for deaf children, conversation method for language development and reading, teaching strategies, etc. She has given various paper presentations, including revisiting education, integration to inclusion, and changing role of special schools in inclusive education. She has trained teachers and parents of deaf children in remote villages across India, both in special as well as regular schools. She is a member of Education Committee. One moment, please. She is member of Education Committee and of Advisory Committee in Inclusive and Special Schools, expert committee member with IGNOW and RCI. She was a trustee of Balak Vrinda Education Society, which is an inclusive school for many years. She has received numerous awards, including Best Special Educator from the Saraswat Mahila Samaj, Best Teacher Award from Brahman Sabha Girgaon and Rotary Club of Bombay West, the Saraswat Ratna from Paridnyan Group. Recently, in January 2025, she was honored by the National Convention of Educators for the Deaf with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Hearty congratulations, Amita Pachi. She has also written various articles like a Treasury of Ideas for IDCS, project and activities for Confluence magazine, translations from English to Marathi and vice versa for CWHI and IGNOW. She has started a newsletter, Kill Bill, for parents and children of the Central School for the Deaf. Under her guidance, many hearing impaired children have made a mark in their respective careers. I now request our chief guest, Kalindi Pachi, to felicitate Shubhada Burde. Kanara Saraswat Association honors Shubhada Burde for phenomenal contribution in educating deaf children, teachers, and trainers for over 4 decades. Congratulations, Amita Pachi.
Thank you.
Amita Pachi, now may I request you to address all of us, please?
Yeah. Thank you, Ashwini and Prashanti and Kalindi Pachi. And especially Dr. Sonal, your talk was an eye-opener because we work with ADHD children also. So definitely I will read your research and try to do something about it. A very happy Women's Day to all. It's a great pleasure, and I'm deeply humbled and honored to be with you all on this special occasion. This recognition is not just for me, but for all the educators who pour their hearts and souls into shaping young minds. Words cannot express the immense gratitude I feel for this honor. It is a privilege to be a part of this community and to contribute to the growth and development of differently abled children. As special educators, we have a responsibility to empower our students with the knowledge and skills with which they need to succeed in rapidly changing world. I want to start by thanking my gurus, my mother who encouraged me to enter this field and told me that you go in only if you want to give your 200%. My mentors in school and training colleges, all my past and present colleagues, our counselor, our audiologist, and all my students in special schools. They are my energy boosters who taught me to be patient, innovative, and a learner always. My family for always being there for me as a solid support. Without them, nothing would be possible. So when I look back into the various roles and situations I've been through, along with the people I had the pleasure to work with, I go back to mid-70s. My first inspiration, rather a role model, is my late father's younger sister, late Durga Tai, who was a teacher at preschool level at Balak Vrinda Education Society. She completed her graduation, managing her family, and a whole lot of festivities that went on throughout the year. I learned from her to do multitasking with skill and with a smile. Later, I was introduced to the field of deaf education by my sister's nephew. After completing D.Ed, I started teaching the deaf children, and I was fortunate enough to complete my B.Ed later, and also the special training in teaching language by going abroad, while enjoying the full support of our trustees, the founder principal, and my mentors. I would like to share a few happy moments that I spent and cherished with my students. We teach deaf children to listen and talk, and we don't use any sign language. We teach them to listen and talk just as we learned from our parents right from when we were babies. We ensure that after diagnosis, they have the best hearing aids or cochlear implants. We have a gupshup time daily in class. Any topic of their choice is discussed. So few incidents that happened. We had gone on a trip to Karla and Lonavla, and at Karla, we had to climb up the Equira Devi temple to go to the temple. I was climbing at a snail's pace and resting after a few steps. The kids ran up, but soon realized that I could not catch up with them. They saw me sitting, they ran down, gave me water from their water bottles, and asked me, "Are you okay? Come, hold my hands. We'll go slowly. Only a few steps are left," they said every few minutes. "Look up, only few steps are left." That marked their spontaneous love and concern for me as their teacher. Another incident was we were discussing about what each one wanted to be when they grew up. My 8-year-old kid, Mahi, said, "I want to be a robot engineer." So I asked him, "For whom? And what will your robot do?" So he promptly replied, "The first one will do all the housework for my mummy so that she can take rest. And the second one will hold your hand and take you wherever you go." I asked him, "Why?" He said, "I know you have a problem walking and climbing. I suffered from knee arthritis, severe, which was replaced later. I happened to react with tears in my eyes." The same boy, Mahi, 15 years later, called me one day to say that he was going to pick me up at 8 a.m. the next morning to attend his graduation ceremony at the Bhavans College, Andheri. He is now a computer engineer and is working at Cummins. With a blink in his eye, he said, "I still remember I have to make a robot engineer." I said, "I don't need it now because my knees have been replaced and I'm young now." My first student is a civil engineer. While on his first job, as he came to our school as a supervisor, and he worked to complete the construction of our infant center. "I want the best for my school," he said. He even brought sand for our sand pit from Alibag, saying, "That is the cleanest sand I have ever seen." What a proud moment it was for me. Our students are graduates. They are MBAs. One is an MBA finance first class working for CRISIL. There are engineers, there are businessmen, there are businesswomen. One is a Padma Shri honor. He is our Amchi Taranath Shenoy. There are international sports champions, classical dancers, engineers. One among them is the president, the same one who is the civil engineer, is the president of the giant group of Mumbai Pearls. It is a group of differently abled men and women paying back to the society and helping the needy as much as they can. What more would I need as a proud mother, a grandmother, Tai to my students, and Aji to my tiny tots? Now, I and my retired colleagues have formed a group called DART. Everyone says, What does the D stand for? I'll tell you that last. ART stands for Association of Retired Teachers. And D stands for not divine, as some people told me, not devoted, but devils. Because we teach the young trainee teachers our teaching strategies. We sit on their heads to see that they perform the best to bring up the children and have the children speak in clear speech with a lot of knowledge, general knowledge and language. We have visited special schools and inclusive schools in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. I'm still enjoying my passion and will continue as long as my body and mind permits. I have a special request to make to all of you. Each and every child on birth must be tested for hearing capacity or before the mother is discharged from the hospital. This will help the hearing impaired child to be at par in his language and overall development with the hearing child due to early diagnosis and early remedial intervention. Please spread the word to your friends and family members. And one small example is the one little baby whom I worked with right from age 3 months is now around 4 years old, and she has shifted to London. The other day, her mother sent me a video where she was making breakfast with her father. Her father had a knife in his hands and he was chopping raisins. So she turned around and told him, "Daddy, be careful, you'll cut your finger." And I was excited. I jumped with joy. That is what we have achieved. I encourage you all to visit our school to observe and interact with our students. I consider myself lucky to be one among a large family with a chance to keep on learning new techniques, new developing concepts, while learning from my students who are my natural gurus. Thank you, KSA, and all of you, all my fellow achievers, and those who will be achievers next year and every year. A big thank you to my spouse, Satish, who is the strongest moral support for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Amita Tai. Thank you, Amita Tai.
Thank you.
Your valuable contribution and commitment towards educating the specially challenged deaf children and also the slow learners is really very inspiring. Always proud of you and your achievements. All the best to you all, DARTS, DARTS. Really proud of you. Okay, so now I would like to introduce Srimati Suvarna Gauri Kagal Ghaisas, a rare find, a Triveni Sangam of music, dance, and theatre, having expertise in all three forms of art. She is an accomplished artist since early childhood and has seamlessly transitioned into the professional world. Her early exposure to performing arts laid a solid foundation while she paved the way for a distinguished career in music, dance, and theatre. Her noteworthy achievements with respect to music: Suvarna Gauri has done Bachelor's in Fine Arts in Hindustani Classical Music from Mumbai University under the guidance of Guru Pandit Firoz Dastur of Kirana Gharana. She is a recognized artist of Mumbai Akashwani and Doordarshan and has performed at many prestigious music festivals like Saraswat Sangeet Sammelan and Natya Sammelan. She is honored with awards like S.D. Burman Award by Sur Singar Samsar and also the Pandit Bhimshan Joshi Scholarship by Vile Parle Music Circle and Natya Sangeet Scholarship by Dadar Matunga Cultural Center. With respect to dance, she has learned Kathak Nritya Alankar from Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Mahavidyalaya under the guidance of Guru Srimati Asha Zogrekar. She has been awarded the central government scholarship for Kathak dance and won prizes and trophies in All India Kathak competition by Swar Sadhana Samiti and Yuvak Biradari. She has been honored with Madam Manika Award at the Youth Festival by Mumbai University. Suvarna Gauri has also performed in many dance festivals across Maharashtra and India with Guru Bhagini Archana Zogrekar and has also choreographed dance programs in schools and colleges. With respect to theatre, Suvarna Gauri has played lead roles in several musical dramas, Sangeet Nataks, like Katyar Kaljat Ghusli, Bavan Khani, Dhadila Ram Tine Kavani, Geeta Gati Jnaneshwar, Panditra Jagannath, Sanshay Kallol, etc., and has been recognized for her acting skills. She has also performed at many notable programs, concerts, and festivals with eminent artists like Natavarya Prabhakar Panshikar, Daji Bhatodekar, Jayant Savarkar, Bhalchandra Pendharkar, Asha Khadekar, Ajit Kadkade, Mahesh Kale, to name a few. She has been awarded with Silver Medal by the Government of Maharashtra, Natya Darpan Puraskar for Best Actress presented by actor Ashok Kumar, Mama Varedkar Puraskar by Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Natya Parishad, and Natya Seva Gaurav Puraskar by Mumbai Marathi Sahitya Sangh. Suvarna Gauri started her career as an entry-level music teacher at Sangeet Kala Academy Education Department MCGM and has dedicated 28 years to promoting music among underprivileged students in the MCGM schools. Her relentless efforts and passion for music education culminated in her appointment as the head of the music department, a position she held for the last 10 years before taking voluntary retirement. She worked tirelessly to enrich the lives of countless students and make education a joyful part of their journey beyond adversity. Here at MCGM, she created the music syllabus for grades 6 to 8. During the pandemic, she created an online education program and curriculum specifically for that period to ensure that learning is accessible and uplifting for students. She organized innovative workshops, debates, and lecture demonstrations in music, dance, and drama, organized inter-school competitions and cultural events to enhance and project the inborn talents of MCGM students. First time in the history of MCGM, efforts were taken in 2012 to prepare students for the prestigious Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Mahavidyalaya exams. Alongside her day-to-day responsibilities, she directed 3 Sangeet Nataks in alternate years as a voluntary contribution to Sangeet Rangabhumi. Under her leadership, she created music organized workshops and directed successful music dramas, significantly enriching the lives of music teachers and students and fostering a vibrant educational environment. Suvarna Gauri has inspired countless students to pursue music as a career. She has created a name for herself in performing arts and continues to do so. I now request Kalindi Pachi to felicitate Mrs. Suvarna Gauri Kagal Ghaisas. Kanara Saraswat Association honors Suvarna Kagal Ghaisas for tireless efforts to enrich lives of countless students in music, dance, and theatre for over 3 decades. Congratulations, Suvarna.
Congrats.
I now request you to say a few words and address us.
Thank you so much, Prashanti. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, KSA and Kalindi Pachi, for honoring me on this 19th International Women's Day celebration. I'm truly blessed to share the dais with highly deserving, knowledgeable Amchi women like Adaraniya Vidushi Lalitrao Pachi. Lalita Pachi, please accept my humble pranams. Friends, I feel incredibly honored to be standing before you today. Throughout my journey, I have been fortunate to receive numerous achievements, scholarships, prestigious awards, recognitions across the field I have dedicated my life to. Recently, the World Women Leadership Congress bestowed upon me the Women Leadership Award 2024, a moment of immense pride. But among all the honors I have received, today's recognition is truly special. This is a celebration from my own people, from the very community where I was born and raised. To have my work acknowledged by those who have been a part of my roots makes this moment deeply personal and profoundly meaningful. From the very beginning, music was an inseparable part of my life. It was something I simply learned. It wasn't something I simply learned, it was something I lived. My parents, my brothers, instilled in me a love for music, nurturing me in an environment where melodies flowed as naturally as conversations. I often think of this as my fortune from a past life. Purva Janmichi Punyai, maybe. Yes, I may have been gifted with artistic talent, but talent alone is never enough. Without the right guidance, even the brightest spark can fade. I was blessed with extraordinary gurus, teachers who shaped me with selfless dedication, guiding me with wisdom and discipline. They did not just teach me music, they shaped me into a person capable of forging my own path. No matter how much gratitude I express towards my parents, my gurus, my mentors, it will never be enough. As I pursued my passion as an independent artist, fate led me to an unexpected but life changing opportunity to become a music teacher in the education department of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation schools. What began as simple teaching job soon transformed into a profound purpose. Working with underprivileged children changed my entire outlook on life. These were the children who faced challenges far greater than I could have imagined. Many of them worked to support their families, run small businesses, and yet somehow found their way to the school. Amidst all their struggles, music became their solace. I saw firsthand how even few moments spent in the world of music brought them happiness, hope, and a sense of belonging. As I taught them, I realized that I too was learning resilience, learning empathy, and most of all, learning the true power of music to transform lives. My journey continued, leading me to the Sangeet Kala Academy, where I had the privilege of heading the music department. With this responsibility came the opportunity to bring music to a larger audience, to create platforms where both my MCGM students and my fellow music teachers could grow beyond the confines of a classroom. Organizing music programs and initiatives became my mission. Not just to teach, but to give these young artists the exposure they truly deserved. Seeing their talents unfold on grand stages, witnessing their confidence grow, and knowing that their art was reaching people, it was a fulfillment beyond anything I had experienced as an artist myself. But uh, beyond this, I had immersed completely in my role. And with this bond, music did not stop there. I felt a deep calling to give back something to the Sangeet Rangabhumi, the very foundation that had given me so much. I took on the challenge of directing 3 Sangeet Natak, Shiva Dhanushya Pelne, we say it in Marathi, bringing together talented music teachers, all my BMC talented music teachers together and presenting these productions at the State Drama Festival, the Sangeet Natak competitions held every year by the state government. The overwhelming success we achieved was not just a personal victory, but a tribute to the institution that had shaped me. It was my way of giving back, of ensuring that the legacy of Sangeet Rangabhumi, the Sangeet Natak, lived on and reached new heights. I was completely contented by the time. And so, as I stand here today, receiving this honor, I know in my heart that it belongs to many. It belongs to my MCGM students whose dreams and dedication continues to inspire me. It belongs to my fellow music teachers still working in the different schools whose passion keep their art alive. It belongs to my department, my mentors, and the entire municipal corporation, Mumbai Municipal Corporation, which gave me space to grow and contribute. Though I have taken voluntary retirement, my bond with this journey is unbreakable. And my commitment to serving through music remains as strong as ever. Receiving this recognition from the Kanara Saraswat Association fills me with renewed energy and purpose. It is a reminder that my work is not done and that there is always more to give, more to create, and more lives to touch. I am proud to be a woman, and I believe that the best way to honor this life is by making it meaningful through my actions. With immense gratitude and humility, I accept this honor today. I extend my heartfelt thanks to KSA for believing in my work and for celebrating my journey. I dedicate this award to my parents, Shaila and Sadanand Kagal, my brothers, Atulya and Ashish, my all gurus, my better half, Charudatta Ghaisas, my son, Shantanu Ghaisas, my BMC, countless students, my BMC students, and my association, who have all been an inseparable part of this incredible path. Last but not the least, my heartfelt compliments to the entire team who have successfully organized this memorable event this evening. Thank you all. Keep blessing.
Thank you, Suvarna Pachi, for your wonderful speech. Normally, ladies take up either music or dance or theatre. You are indeed one of the few who have successfully taken up all three together. And you rightly said that along with talent, we also need the guidance and the nurturing of our gurus. It is also with your encouragement that will definitely motivate more girls and women to be artistically inclined. it is, as you said, your own way of giving back to the society. And seeing our students grow and take art forward is, I think, the greatest gratification anyone can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now, I would like to introduce our next woman achiever, Dr. Kasturi Saha Tallur. Post her MSc in physics from IIT Delhi, Kasturi completed her PhD in physics from Cornell University, USA, and postdoctoral fellowship in Research Laboratory of Electronics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. Kasturi is currently an associate professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Bombay, and the project director, National Quantum Mission, Quantum Sensing and Metrology Hub in QMET Tech Foundation. Her research experience ranges from quantum sensing and quantum information with color defect centers in diamond, photonics, biophysics, and nanomagnetism. She has received numerous awards, including Young Faculty Award and C1973 Research Excellence Award from IIT Bombay, Associate Fellow from Indian National Science Academy, to the recent Young Applied Physicist and Venus International Young Researcher Award, among many more other awards. She has also guided many PhD students herself, and they have also received various fellowships, including Prime Minister's Research Fellowship. She has around 18 notable publications in SCI journals, including Single Photon Emission from In situ created nitrogen vacancies in chemical vapor deposition grown single crystal diamond, decoupling nuclear spins via interaction-induced freezing in nitrogen vacancy centers in diamond, optothermoelectric trapping of fluorescent nanodiamonds on plasmonic nanostructures, etc. She has around 4 papers which are currently under review. Kasturi has been granted a patent titled Dynamic Wide Field Imaging with NV Centers in Diamond. And she has also filed for another patent titled A Priori Constrained 3D Magnetic Field Imaging from Quantum Diamond Microscopy. She has several projects in progress, including quantum enhanced magnetic microscopy and computing using NV centers, which is funded by TCS, and development of nitrogen vacancy center-based quantum sensors for biomolecular sensing, which is funded by Vadvani Research Center for Biotechnology. She has also completed many projects, including quantum computation using color defects in diamond, DST Inspire Faculty Fellowship, development of portable magnetic field sensors for strategic applications, etc. She is the national coordinator for DST Quest project. She is a drafting committee member for detailed project report for NMQTA National Mission on Quantum Technologies and Applications, the editor for several journals, organizing member for Vaibhav 2020, young professional member of the Optical Society of America, etc. I just hope I pronounced all that correctly because not being from a scientific background, it's a bit difficult for me. Anyway, now I request our chief guest, Kalindi Pachi, to felicitate Dr. Kasturi Saha Tallur. Rajavan, could you share
Yeah,
this?
I'm trying that. I'm not able to find one. Just give
Sure,
me a
sure,
minute,
sure,
yeah?
sure, Rajavan, sure.
I'm not finding the one minute.
Yeah. Otherwise, I can read out. Should I read out?
Yeah, you can read out. I'll flash it in between. Okay.
Okay, Rajan ma'am. Dr. Kasturi Sahatalur, Kanara Saraswat Association honors Dr. Kasturi Sahatalur for excellence in quantum sensing research and motivating young women and girls to study science and technology. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And now I request you to kindly address the audience.
Sure. So thank you very much. First of all, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I am really deeply humbled and extremely honored, especially given the other awardees who have already spoken about the work that they are doing and the extent of work that they have been doing for in various different spokes of fields in life, right? So I think in that way I feel very blessed to be part of this this organization now, so to say, in a little way, and I'm deeply honored. Of course, none of this has come with the hard work that has gone into establishing myself in a field of science and technology, which is, as you know, there are very few women who are at the helm in science and technology. And to go a little back, I would like to sort of say a little bit about so I would first thank you so much again, once again, for flashing. I'm deeply honored again. Yeah, so going back, I just want to mention a few things for my journey so far. When I started my BSc in St. Stephen's College, we were about 50-50, boys and girls. As soon as I went into my MSc days, my MSc class, we were only 4 girls. So there was a drastic drop in women as soon as you hit the master's level. And then when I went on to do my PhD, again, we were only 4 women in physics. And I come from a background of physics. So therefore, as you can see, women in science, technology in general, you have very few women going on to pursue masters and then PhD and then becoming professors and contributing further. So I think it really struck me at that point of time that, what is it that is really stopping us from, unlike the other fields where you have almost 50-50 contribution, perhaps even some fields actually have more women than men. It turns out that there is a lot of stigma, not just not just within India, and I'm talking about this from a very global perspective, that there are very few women who actually go on to get into higher education. At the bachelor's level, it is still more or less similar numbers, but then as you go further down, and when you're talking about PhD or even postdoctoral fellowship, they are really reduced in number. And that really comes because there is no support from family to continue with the kind of work that is necessary to go forward with this field, right? So this is a very big problem for not just India, and this is really not just in India, this is all across the world. The numbers are really staggering when you find the number of women in higher education. And it is something that has to do with the overall perception of how people think the work is, the number of hours are perhaps higher, and there is also a lot of different kind of contributions that are needed at different times, and people feel hesitant to go into this. I would like to change that perception, and that is where my work really comes in. Apart from the research that I'm doing, I'll tell you a little bit about my research in just a bit, but I feel that if we can change the societal perception, it is only then we can encourage more women to come into higher education. Just going from BSc to MSc, there is such a big drop. So to make that change happen, we really have to educate more families to let their kids come up for higher education, and then continue with that to PhD, and only then can we change the numbers over time. So for this, keeping this in mind, now that I am in a position to make such kind of changes happen, I am now the project director for the National Quantum Mission within India for the quantum sensing vertical. And for this vertical, we have decided that we will have targeted programs for women to encourage them, from at the master's level or even, at the bachelor's level, to really take up science as their, specific, whether it's chemistry, physics, or mathematics, really take them forward and ask them to participate in higher education and masters onward. So PhD, going forward with PhD, especially focusing on quantum sensing, because we are working on quantum sensing. So this is something that we are doing. And even at a local level within IIT Bombay, we do have mentorship programs for our undergraduate students to, encourage them. Of course, IIT is very privileged because already students come with a little bit of privileged background. Many students come with privilege, not all, many people come with a privileged background, but and they are already aware and they are far more outgoing, and so you already see that in them, that they want to do something in future. But there are many who still are have to be mentored, and we are doing that on a daily basis, trying to encourage more girls to take up higher education in physics, in engineering, and take that forward in technological fields. Now coming back to my own research, you heard diamond many times. Thank you, Ashwini, for mentioning it. So diamond is the girl's best friend, as we know, but diamond are also engineers' best friends, and it turns out that they have this very special property. And if you have seen not just the bright and shiny white colored diamond, but there are colored diamonds as well, and colored diamonds essentially have some very special properties in them that make them sensors. So just like any thermometer is a temperature sensor, so similarly, you have these special defects in diamond, which are also sensors of magnetic field. And so my research is essentially trying to develop alternative techniques to MRI. So I'm pretty sure we all know and have heard of MRI machines, which are typically used for diagnostics. There are issues with the MRIs because they only can image up to a certain resolution, and you cannot really see at the cellular level. So my goal is really to develop a technology where we will be able to see and scan through the images, where we will be able to resolve single cells. So that is where my research is focused on. And of course, there are many other kinds of applications of the same technology. I will not go into the details of it, but essentially it is about sensing the magnetic field that comes from different kind of features and cardiac cells or neurons, etc. So that is what we are working on at IIT Bombay. We have a very nice lab. You can come anytime, you can come visit our lab, and I'll be happy to host even school school children or others. Even all of you should come visit and see the kind of work we are doing. Of course, none of this could have ever been possible, and I go back now again to the societal kind of impact. So none of this could have been possible if I would not have my parents, my mom and my my aunts, and all of who are really encourage me to think beyond what is just the standard norm. And that is what has driven me to look into the world in a very different way, and never be discouraged by okay, if somebody says that, oh, this is not for girls, you should not do this. That has never been the case, because my family has always said that everything is possible if you want to do it. So that is the way I feel that one should look at the each and every field, whether it is technology and whether it is music or art. I think it is your will, that if you really want to do it, there will be a way to do it. So I think that is what I really deeply believe. And of course, a lot of thank you goes to all the teachers who have mentored me in various different ways, and especially the women mentors in my PhD days and my postdoctoral fellow. For my fellowship, my advisor was a woman advisor, and she really pushed me in various different ways, and she trained and mentored me so that I can become, an initially assistant professor. Now I'm an associate professor. So I think the kind of mentoring I have received is what I want to transfer into my own students, and I have several women students in my group, but they are still far and few. And I really hope and wish the numbers really change, and we get more women students who come up for engineering and science. So with that, I have to thank you again, KSA, for giving me this opportunity to talk about my work. And also, I hope that we spread the message that STEM is not just for a few select number of women, but for everyone. People should be encouraged. Yes, it is a hard path. It is not going to be easy, but there are ways to work around that, and it is possible, very much possible. So with that, thank you once again, and I'm deeply honored and very humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kasturi. Thank you for your educative talk. And we congratulate you for your valuable contribution and research in your field of quantum technology. All the best in all your future endeavors. Now I would like to give vote of thanks. On behalf of KSA, I would like to thank our chief guest, Srimati Kalindi Kodyal, all our spirited women achievers, Vidushi Mrs. Lalit Rao, Mrs. Shubhada Burde, Mrs. Rupa Balsekar, Mrs. Suvarna Kagal Ghaisas, Dr. Sonal Hatangi Haridas, and Dr. Kasturi Sahatallur. I also thank our KSA president, Shri Kishore Masurkar, who couldn't attend but who sent us a message to address us all. Our vice president, Shri Uday Gurkar, chairman, Shri Mahesh Kalyanpur, and vice chairman, Shri Rajan Kalyanpur. I thank Rajan Ma'am also for his sincere efforts and support for streaming this event online. And thank you, Sunil Ma'am, for your guidance, help, and support. Thank you, Santosh Shirur and Bhakti Ullal, and Ashwini Prashant for co-hosting this event. I also thank Zaveri and Brothers for the plaques, Rupali Kapnadak Savan for the flyers and labels for the plaques, and Mr. Dilip Rao for the photographs of these plaques, and KSA back office staff, Shobhana Rao, Swati, and Komal. Last but not the least, I thank you all, our audience present online, for your presence and for your unwavering support and encouragement as always. Thank you so much. Before concluding, I would take this opportunity to announce the forthcoming events organized by KSA. First KSA CSN Conclave for Bhanap entrepreneurs on 19th and 20th of April at Talmakiwadi. There is no entry fee for this event, but pre-registration is necessary. KSA is also planning to organize senior citizens get-together on 27th April. Time and other details of both these events will be conveyed shortly. I now conclude this event by
Prashanti,
chanting.
1 minute. Prashanti,
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah,
I would also like to thank Prashanti for being such a wonderful co-host.
Thank you, Ashwini. I now conclude this event by chanting the Sabha Samapti Prarthana. Om Nandantu Sadaka Sarve Vinashantu Vidushakaha Avastha Shambhavi Mestu Prasannostu Guru Sada Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhamapnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Jai Shankar, everybody, and thank you so much.
Thank you
very much. Thank you.
Very
Bye.
well organized program.